Candidates, please be ready for the passage. Sir, I rise to speak on the issues and concerns regarding the Union Budget for the year 2023-24 that has been presented by the Honorable Finance Minister. In the budget, a record amount of rupees 10 lakh crore has been proposed to be allocated on infrastructure development. This is historically high. This will increase employment and boost growth of the economy. This will have long-term economic prospects. In due course, it may help enhancement of private sector investment. It may increase employment in many sectors, including the manufacturing sector. However, we may have to wait for some time to have its full assessment. In the financial proposals presented, the Honorable Finance Minister has proposed several tax concessions. This will help to increase demand in the economy. It may also increase the purchasing power of the working people and the middle class in rural as well as urban areas. Sir, the financial proposal for huge allotment in green energy is a highly welcome aspect of the budget. India has targeted to reach zero pollution level by 2070. This will have a multiplier effect in the economy. Another important aspect has been the announcement of permanent account number or PAN as the common identification for several economic activities. In my opinion, this budget is inclusive. It is infrastructure and investment oriented. The budget proposals trigger further the ease of doing business. The Honorable Finance Minister has proposed several policies to increase export opportunities. As we know, the export sector is an important backbone of the economy. The budget proposals giving long-term tax holidays and easy credit for special economic zones that are responsible for about one-third of exports are highly welcome. This will not only boost the employment potential in the special economic zones in the country but also establish ancillary industries in and around the special economic zones. Sir, another important proposal for development of tourism in some popular routes like the Buddha Circuit, Royal Rajasthan, Shirdi Darshan, Mystic, Northeast, etc., as part of the Incredible India will increase the tourist activities without any doubt. The tourism sector is still not in a good position. It has faced sluggish growth during the recent past due to the pandemic and the prevalent lockdown situation. The tourism sector as a whole got adversely affected. However, I hope and trust that with a slew of favorable measures proposed by the Honorable Finance Minister in the budget, this sector will get a much needed boost. Tourism is considered to be the highest employment generating activity. It could also give a major thrust to the government's stated slogan of vocal for local. Therefore, in my view, these are well considered proposals. Sir, the budget proposals signal increase in GDP. This will pull down inflation. The issue of price inflation has been a serious concern all over the world, including India. but the Honorable Finance Minister did not pronounce anything on inflation. As far as the views of eminent economists are concerned, most of them say that a reasonable rate of general inflation is good for the economy. This shows that country's economy is not stagnant but is a vibrant one. Some friends from the opposition remarked that inflation is taxation without legislation. I would like to say that we do not follow or believe in this dictum. In our view, inflation arises because of demand supply gap. If demand is higher than supply, then prices rise. It is our endeavor to increase the production and the productivity of our farmers and factories. It is expected that the higher investment by the private sector will rise as a result of the impact of the huge government investment, especially in the infrastructure sector like the railways, highways, ports, and inland waterways. The private sector may take time, but it will find a way to invest in the fields of electric vehicles, solar energy, which is available in abundance in our country and also has a huge potential. The sound proposals for lowering customs duty will help increase exports and increase job opportunity in the economy. The positive proposals for expansion of agriculture, horticulture, sericulture, and apiculture will increase employment opportunity in a short time. As we know, agriculture provides livelihood to nearly 65% of the population. Therefore, the Honorable Finance Minister has rightly proposed an increased agriculture credit target of rupees 20 lakh crore. She has further proposed many financial schemes for agri startups and natural farming, which are focused on boosting capital investment and to generate more employment opportunities. It also gives marginal relief in income tax to individuals to meet inflation, which has spiraled up in recent times mainly due to shortage of rainfall and consequently an expected dip in production. As such, it can be said to be a holistic budget. Sir, now I come to an important sector of the economy, namely the micro, small, and medium enterprises sector or the MSME sector. They contribute almost 29% to the gross domestic product in the country's economy. I am happy that the government is focusing on industries under MSME by simplifying law compliance burden by introducing trust based schemes and solutions. The introduction of artificial intelligence or AI based solutions as well as the introduction of e-court proceedings and DigiLocker facility will ease the business activities. Sir, India needs to focus on to provide food, housing, health services and education to all. These are our cherished goals. To this list, I would like to add clean drinking water as water is the most precious source of life. All our civilizations thrived near great rivers. It is impossible to think the evolution of man without water. It is impossible to even imagine survival of men without water. Water is too precious a source to be wasted. With these words, I would like to conclude my initial remarks on the budget proposals.